A story of true friendship. Bob and John are best friends. They live in a small town. Bob works in a bakery. John drives a taxi. They are both 25 years old. They grew up on the same street. They went to the same school. They played football together. They always helped each other. Bob is tall and thin. He has brown hair and blue eyes. John is short and strong. He has black hair and green eyes. Every weekend, they meet at the park. They sit on a bench and talk. They laugh and drink tea. They talk about work, family, and dreams. One day, Bob had an idea. He said, "John, I want to open my own bakery." John said, "That's great. What do you need?" Bob said, "I need money. I need a shop. I need help." John thought for a moment. Then he smiled. "I will help you," he said. "You are my best friend." Bob was happy. He said, "Thank you, John. I will never forget this." John said, "Let's work together. We can do this." They made a plan. Bob will bake the cakes and bread. John will help with delivery and money. Next week, they started working. They found a small shop near the market. The rent was not too high. They cleaned the shop. They painted the walls. They bought ovens, shelves, and tables. Bob baked cakes, cookies, and bread. John made boxes and delivered orders. They worked all day. They worked even on Sundays. At first, business was slow. Only a few people came. But Bob and John did not stop. They smiled. They worked hard. They gave free samples. They talked to people. After 1 month, more people came. They liked Bob's cakes. They liked John's smile. One morning, Bob came to the shop. He looked sad. John asked, "What happened?" Bob said, "We have no sugar. I forgot to buy it." John said, "Don't worry. I will go now." John took his scooter and went to the market. But the market was closed. There was a holiday. John went to another town. There, he found a shop. He bought sugar and came back. Bob was happy again. He said, "You are the best, John." John smiled. That's what friends are for. After 6 months, the bakery became famous. They called it B&J Bakery. People from other towns came. Children loved the cookies. Old people loved the soft bread. Bob made new items. He made muffins and pies. John made flyers and put them everywhere. Sales went up. Money came in. Bob and John were proud. They were happy and tired, but never angry. They never fought. They said, "We are a good team." One day, a hotel manager came. He said, "I want 500 cupcakes for a wedding." Bob and John looked at each other. Bob said, "That is a big order." John said, "Can we do it?" Bob said, "Yes, but we need help." So they called 2 friends. Sarah and Mike came to help. Bob baked the cupcakes. Sarah put cream on them. John packed them in boxes. Mike delivered them to the hotel. The hotel manager was very happy. He paid them well. He said, "You are very professional." Bob and John said, "Thank you." One evening, Bob was tired. He said, "I do everything. I bake, I clean, I plan." John said, "But I also work hard. I drive, I pay bills, I talk to customers." Bob shouted, "But this is my dream." John shouted back, "And I made your dream real." They were both angry. Bob left the shop. John went home. That night, they did not talk. The shop was closed the next day. Bob sat alone in the park. He looked at the trees. He thought about John. John sat at home. He looked at the sky. He thought about Bob. They both missed each other. They both knew they made a mistake. Bob said to himself, "I should not shout." John said, "I should listen more." Next morning, Bob walked to John's house. At the same time, John walked to the shop. They saw each other on the road. They smiled. Bob said, "I'm sorry." John said, "Me too." They shook hands. They hugged. Bob and John opened the shop again. They cleaned it. They put fresh flowers on the counter. They said, "Let's never fight again." They wrote new rules. Speak calmly. Listen to each other. Take breaks. Say thank you every day. Now they worked better than before. The shop became more popular. People said, "They are not just bakers. They are best friends." After 1 year, Bob and John opened another bakery. They called it B&J Express. It was in a new town. They hired more people. They taught baking to young boys and girls. Bob said, "Everyone should learn and grow." John said, "Yes, and everyone needs a friend." One day, a boy named Liam came. He said, "I want to learn." Bob and John said, "Come in. You are welcome here." They gave him an apron and a big smile. Final message. Bob and John worked hard. They stayed kind. They helped each other. They stayed friends. Their story teaches us, never give up. Trust your friends. Speak with love. Work with heart. This was the story of Bob and John. Two friends, one dream. If you liked the story, write your favorite line in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more English learning stories. See you in the next video.